My beloved child, from the very moment I spoke creation into existence, you were already present in my divine intention. You are not a coincidence, not a nameless speck among the countless souls adrift in this world. Your name has been inscribed in heaven not with ink or fire, but with my eternal love itself. And today I am calling you not to a ritual, not to merely hear a fleeting word of comfort, but to a true conversation from the depths of my heart to the innermost places of your soul. This is not a random dialogue, but a sacred invitation, a divine appointment between father and child, between the Creator and the one he has chosen. My child, pause in this very moment and truly listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart, with the stillness your soul so deeply longs for. For the words I am about to speak carry not just sound, but life. These are the words of the Eternal One, the one who wove every thread of history and who even now holds every breath you take in his hands. I see you. I know you. Not a single tear falls from your eyes without my notice. Not one long night passes without my presence beside you. I have watched every step you've taken in silence, the trembling steps, the ones where you stumbled and fell, and even the times you chastised yourself for not being strong enough. And in those very moments I have seen you more clearly than ever. I see within you a heart that is not perfect, but one that earnestly seeks perfection in me. I see a soul that has been broken but has never given up the hope of being healed. I see your faith, not a showy loud faith, but a living one that endures through every invisible battle. And that is why I have chosen you. Not because you are strong enough, not because you are without fault, but because you are willing. Willing to believe in the face of doubt. Willing to walk forward even when the path is unclear. Willing to say yes even when that yes comes with tears. You are chosen not to live in fear or hesitation, but to carry a divine mission prepared for you before time began. My dear one, understand this. Your existence is not simply to survive the days, not merely to endure trials. You were born to make an impact, to shine, to be a living testimony of my unchanging love in a world that has lost its way. Every wound you carry, every trial you endure, is not meaningless. All of it, whether you understand it now or not, is shaping you, preparing you, refining you for the mission I have entrusted to you. Do not fix your eyes on what you lack. Fix your eyes on the one who has called you, for I will be your strength in weakness, your light in the shadows you must walk through. I do not require your perfection, I ask for your faithfulness. I do not need you to have all the answers, I need you to know that I will never leave you. When you tremble, I will hold your hand. When you lose your way, I will call your name through the storm. When you grow weary, I will place my very breath within you. So do not close your heart to this calling. Do not let the voices of doubt, of disappointment, or of your past bind you to a small and diminished identity. You are a child of the King, one called in the night, set apart among many. Be courageous and step out of fear. Dare to believe that what I have spoken is true, and that I never call without also providing what is needed to fulfill the calling. Your life, when placed in my hands, will become more than a journey. It will be a sacred story written with my guidance, my faithfulness, and my boundless love. Rise now, my child. Prepare yourself, for the new season has arrived. This is no longer the time for hesitation, for hiding or retreat. This is the hour for you to walk into the fullness I have ordained for you. Do not compare yourself to others. Do not wait until you feel ready to begin. Begin now, even with trembling hands, as long as your hand is in mine. I will take care of the rest. And one day when you look back, you will not only see your own footprints, but you will see the places where I carried you, the places you thought you would fall, but which were in truth the moments I drew you closest to, my heart. Beloved child, never forget this. You are not forgotten. You are not insignificant in my eyes. You are not lost from the divine design. Your name still shines in the heavens, still echoes in the halls of eternity. And today I am still calling you not to a distant place, but near to my heart, near to my voice, near to the eternal purpose I have written for your life. Listen and step forward, for I am walking with you, and you will never be alone. My beloved child, since the beginning of time, before your first cry ever pierced the earth, your name has been etched into the fabric of heaven, not as a faint inscription that time can erase, but as an eternal imprint in my heart. And now this moment, the very instant you are hearing these words, is the appointed time divinely ordained by me since before the world began. Nothing is accidental. No detail of your life is without meaning. Everything you have lived through the joys and the sorrows has been converging into a sacred symphony, and the most powerful refrain is this: you have been called. Called by the one who created the universe, the one who knows you better than you know yourself. Called not to live as one in hiding, but as one who carries the heavenly mission given with personal care and boundless love. I know you've wondered why life has sometimes felt unbearably heavy, why the burdens seem to keep pressing down while others appear to walk an easier road. But hear this, my child, it is in adversity that your soul is shaped. It is in darkness that you learn to fix your eyes on the light. It is when all else is stripped away that you find my arms to be your only steady refuge. Every step you've taken across the thresholds of pain and longing I have seen. Every time you've lifted your eyes to the night sky and whispered a weary prayer I have listened. Not a single tear you've cried has been in vain. They are the language I understand most intimately, for they rise from the deepest part of you, where you are most real, where you no longer pretend to be strong, where you simply need me. Do you know, my child, when the world may overlook your smallest sob, I hold every sound as a sacred prayer. What you thought went unnoticed I have recorded. What you considered a failure I am using to train you. The moments you nearly gave up, I was the one who lifted you even when you didn't realize it. The training you are undergoing is not meant to break you, but to fortify you. Not to extinguish hope, but to ignite within your soul an enduring flame. A flame the world cannot snuff out because it is lit by my very spirit. And now, my child, I ask you to look back not through the lens of regret, but with the eyes of faith. You did not walk that journey in vain. Every time you knelt down, every sleepless night, every heavy-hearted step you still chose to take, each one is a precious jewel in my sight. Not a single moment was wasted. I've been using what seemed to be burdens to shape you into one who carries strength from on high. You are being equipped, not with the strength of man, but with perseverance, mercy, and a depth of understanding that only those who have endured can truly grasp. My beloved, hear these words. I now speak to you wrapped in gentleness yet full of power. You were not chosen merely to survive, but to live boldly. Not to hide, but to rise. Not to be afraid, but to burn with the purpose I have placed upon your life. And this mission does not begin on a grand stage, but in the hidden places where you choose love over bitterness, prayer over complaint, patience over giving up. It is in those places that heaven touches earth, that I perform miracles, not through thunder and lightning, but through your quiet faithfulness. You may not see everything clearly, but I see. I am piecing your life together into a masterpiece, and even the darkest strokes are necessary to make the light shine brighter. Keep walking, keep trusting. For those prayers you thought were lost in silence, I have heard and answered them in my divine quiet. Those cries of your heart, they are not forgotten. I am not the kind of father who ignores the pleas of his children. Even when you don't yet see the outcome, I am at work. And nothing, not one moment, is meaningless when you place your heart in my hands. My precious one, lift your head, not because you are greater than others, but because you are mine. Not to prove anything to the world, but because you bear the name of the Most High. And I never call without walking alongside. You passed through the fire, but you were not burned. You crossed the waters, but were not swept away. You are still here, not just to exist, but to be the evidence that my love can save, can heal, can restore what seemed irreparably broken. So move forward, my beloved. Live as one who has been called, for indeed you are. Live as one who has heard, for it is I who speak. Live as one who is loved, for my love for you has never dimmed. And remember, whenever doubt rises, whenever the world grows loud, return to this quiet place where I still whisper your name. For your name, my beloved, still shines in heaven as proof that I have called, I have heard, and I have chosen you for a sacred purpose beyond anything you have imagined. My beloved child, I know that at times this world feels so heavy, it makes your heart tremble. The noise of confusion, pressure, and constant worry echoes endlessly in your mind. The news leaves you breathless, the failures cause you to question yourself, and the trials seem relentless, as if giving you no time to breathe. I see how your eyes sometimes go silent from weariness, how your shoulders sag beneath invisible weights no one else notices. But oh, my precious one, it is precisely in that darkness that my light shines most brilliantly. Not a fleeting human glow, but a supernatural radiance born from my heart steady and ready to illuminate your life. Do you not know darkness has no power to define you? It does not get the final word. I alone hold the ending. I alone write the story of your life. And in that story you are never abandoned. You are not struggling alone in a barren land. I have been there, I am there, and I will always be there like a steadfast lighthouse in a storm, like a faithful hand guiding you through every rough path. Whenever you feel small amid towering challenges, remember this. You were not called to greatness by your own strength, but to carry my light through your very humility. I call you not to run or hide from the world, but to stand and shine within it. Light is not made to be hidden, my child, but to show the way. And the brightest light is the one lit in the darkest night. You don't have to wait for life to become easier before you shine. It is the wounds you've carried, the tears you've swallowed, the moments you stood firm when everything tried to knock you down. Those very things make your light irreplaceably beautiful. Do not be afraid, my child. I do not say this as mere encouragement, but as a declaration sealed with the victory won on the cross. The greatest battle has already been conquered, not by human strength, but by my boundless love. And because of that victory, you no longer live as one defeated. You have been given the power to overcome, not just through effort, but by grace, by faith, by a strength that rises higher than any challenge you face. When you feel weak, remember, my power is made perfect in that weakness. When you feel uncertain, let faith lead more than your fleeting emotions. When the mountain before you seems immovable, remember that I who called you am also the one who moves mountains. I did not promise a stormless path, but I promised to be your peace in the middle of it. I did not promise physical light at every moment, but I promised the spiritual light within you will never be extinguished. You were created to reflect my light. Not the light of false confidence, but the light that flows from surrender, from knowing you need me, and from that place being lifted by a strength that does not come from you. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not let negative voices drown out what I am saying. You are called to be different, to be the salt of the earth, the lamp of the world. And if you hold that truth in your heart, no power can extinguish the light you carry. Look to me, the one who never changes, the one who never retreats. When you keep your eyes on that light, you will find yourself rising above the fatigue, the doubt, the chaos of this world. Not because circumstances change instantly, but because your vision has changed. You begin to see not with the eyes of the flesh, but with the eyes of faith. And that is when you enter a new dimension where peace surpasses all understanding, where hope unshakable begins to grow within. My beloved, I know you are tired. I know there are days when you just want to let go. But I say this to you, don't stop. Don't extinguish your light because the world feels too dark. Let that light burn brighter. Let it become a flame that warms the coldest souls. Let your life become a living testimony to an eternal truth, that though the world may crumble, my love and my promises will endure forever. So go on, my child, with courage. Walk as one who has been redeemed, as one who has been anointed, as one whom I have called by name. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. Your light is not small. And your future, though yet unseen, is being prepared by my hand with care and love. Believe, walk, and shine, for you are the light I have placed in this world, not only to overcome the darkness, but to turn that very darkness into a place where my name is praised. My precious child, on this journey you walk there will be moments when you face confusing crossroads, winding paths that seem to lead nowhere, and trials that stretch beyond the limits of what you thought you could bear. I know there are days when it feels like you are wandering through a desert, dry, lonely, and filled with doubt. I see the times you carry burdens with silent strength, the moments you hide disappointment behind a smile, and the nights you lie awake over things you cannot even name. But in those very moments, I want you to remember one thing: you never walk alone. Not a single step escapes my sight. Not a single breath is unsupported by my grace. However hard the road may be, I am the one who makes your path straight. My child, don't let trials discourage you. Don't let temporary circumstances steal your eternal hope. Don't measure your worth or your ability by what you see or touch, for the most precious part of you is unseen, the heart that still seeks me, the faith that, though small, keeps the flame alive in the darkest night. You are not walking by your own strength, and that is good news. For human strength runs dry, human resolve has limits, but the strength that comes from me is boundless. When you are weary, I will be your rest. When you are afraid, I will be your refuge. When you feel you cannot go on, I will lift you up and walk for you through the remainder of the path. I am the one who created you, who called you by name, and nothing lies outside my providence. You do not have to carry this journey alone, for I am the one who has equipped you with all that you need: the wisdom to discern, the courage to face challenges, the perseverance to not give up, and the love to continue walking in grace. I did not just entrust you with responsibility. I gave you the power to fulfill it. I did not merely call you to step out. I walk with you, remain with you, and strengthen you in every trial. My beloved child, trust in my timing. There may be moments when you think I arrive too late. You may have prayed, waited, hoped, and then found yourself disappointed. But know this, my timing is never wrong. When I come, I always come on time, not early, so you become complacent, not late, so you fall into despair, but just in time for you to see my faithfulness and for your endurance to grow. There are promises I have planted in your heart like seeds, and they need time to sprout, grow, and bear fruit. Do not give up in the sowing season just because you haven't yet seen the harvest. Do not surrender mid-journey just because you can't yet see the destination. Everything I do carries a purpose, a good purpose, never to harm you, but to prosper you, to mature you, and to fill you with hope, my child. My plan for you is never small. You were not born to merely survive the days, but to live with meaning, with a destiny etched before the foundation of the world. Your life is not a series of accidents. Every wound, every dream, every stumble, and every tear, they are all remembered by me and will be woven into a glorious tapestry. I know where you are going, and I know what awaits you. So you don't need to fear the future, you only need to take my hand in the present. I did not promise that the journey would always be easy, but I promised that you would never be alone. I did not say there would be no storms, but I guarantee that in every storm, I will be the anchor that holds you steady. And I do not only give promises, I place my very life as the assurance that every plan of mine is trustworthy. What I have begun in your life, I will bring to completion. What you place into my hands, I will protect. The dreams you thought had died, I have the power to bring them back to life. So my beloved child, be courageous. Keep walking by faith. Open your heart to receive my guidance. When you are weak, come near to me. When you are confused, search my heart. When you feel lost, close your eyes and whisper, Father, I need you, and I will be there without delay. I have chosen you, called you, equipped you, and nothing, no trial, no obstacle, no mistake can stop the love I have for you or undo the plan I have ordained for your life. Believe that ahead of you there is not only hardship but reward, not only tears but laughter, not only battles but victories. And in all of this you will know it is I, the Almighty, the Everlasting, who is your Father, always for you, always with you, and always leading you into a future filled with hope. I love you, and that love will never change. My beloved child, in this turbulent age, as darkness quietly seeps into every corner of the world and the whispers of lies echo ceaselessly in the minds of men, I call you not as a bystander but as a spiritual warrior. You cannot remain still while the enemy is silently sowing fear, sickness, doubt, and despair. You cannot stay asleep while the souls of many are bound, while hope is being suffocated, and while truth is being twisted daily. I call you to rise, not in your own strength, but in the power of prayer, for that is the mighty weapon I have placed in your hands to defeat darkness and release life. You do not need to be prominent or have a loud voice among the crowds. You only need a sincere heart that says, Father, I am ready. For a prayer offered from an honest heart, when lifted in my name, becomes an arrow that pierces through the armor of the enemy. It will not disappear into emptiness, but will resound at my throne as a call to action. And I, the Almighty, will move heaven and earth to respond to you. My beloved child, do not underestimate the whispered prayers of the night. Do not belittle the tears shed in solitude. Those very things which may seem fragile carry great power in the spiritual realm, where the unseen determines the fate of what is seen. The enemy does not sleep. He prowls, taking advantage of weariness, silence, and distraction to find an opening to plant doubt in your heart and to steal the life I have destined for you. But my power never shifts. The enemy may have schemes, but I have strategy. He may strike, but I have protection. And you, if you rise up in prayer, if you hold on to my word and declare it with faith, You will become the instrument to shatter chains, to tear down strongholds, to open doors long locked in the hearts of others. You will not fight alone. I have sent my angels to encamp around you. I have placed my spirit within you as a wellspring of unstoppable strength, and your words, when aligned with mine, will never return void. Declare boldly my truth over your life. Do not fear when the enemy attacks your health. Rise up and declare that you are healed in my name. Do not retreat when circumstances press in. Recall the promises I planted in your heart from the very beginning. Do not remain silent when the future looks uncertain. Speak forth what I have spoken. Restore what I have promised. Call forth the things I am preparing in heaven that your eyes have not yet seen. Those prayers are not merely communication. They are battle cries initiating a spiritual counterattack. They are an invisible army marching across the terrain of the Spirit, advancing into the very heart of darkness, carrying the fire of deliverance. My child, do not think you need to be strong to pray effectively. It is in your weakness that you will see my strength. It is in your imperfection that you will witness my completeness. I do not demand eloquence. I desire sincerity. A single Father, help me from the depths of your soul, has more power than 1,000 well-reasoned arguments. I do not seek perfection, I seek surrender. When you come to me with a tender heart, I will fill you with courage. When you stand up for others, I will stand with you. And when you pray not just for your own needs, but to break chains for those in pain, heaven will join your cry and unleash a spiritual earthquake that nothing can withstand. My child, now is the time for you to rise, not with empty hands, but with hands lifted high in surrender and trust. This is the season of praying warriors, those unseen on stages but changing history in silence. And you are one of them. Remember that prayer is the weapon the enemy fears most, because it does not come from intellect, but from faith. Not from human power, but from divine anointing. I am looking for hearts willing to say, Father, use me. And if you say that today, I will open your eyes to see things beyond your understanding. I will give you strength beyond your physical fatigue. I will ignite within you a fire that cannot be quenched, a fire of prayer, of intercession, of calling, not just for yourself, but for a generation desperate to be saved. Do not retreat, my beloved. Do not be silent anymore. Pray, declare, step into the position I have prepared for you in my spiritual army. For you are not merely a human living on earth. You are a warrior anointed, chosen, and equipped to bring light into darkness. And in my name, you will not be defeated. In my name, every stronghold will fall. In my name, the captives will be set free. My beloved child, the time has come for you to understand that silence is no longer an option and delay is no longer a safe refuge. The battle is no longer future. It is happening now in the unseen realm where your soul feels the tremors. The enemy never rests, never lets go, never stops prowling. He attacks with doubt, surrounds with fear, and misleads with lies clothed in reason. He does not sleep, so you cannot remain asleep in your prayer life. I am calling you, not with thunderous noise, but with a quiet urgency that echoes within your spirit. Rise, pray, fight like the spiritual warrior I created you to be. You do not fight with sword or spear, not with might or human strategy. You fight with the word, the living word, sharper than any double-edged sword, penetrating soul and spirit, thought and intent. You fight with faith. Faith that does not waver before darkness, that does not shrink before the thunder of the enemy. And above all, you fight with prayer, not as a ritual, but as a weapon forged in the furnace of surrender and unwavering trust in my power. Every prayer you release in faith is an arrow, piercing the sky, breaking through layers of deception built by the enemy to imprison souls. Every cry from a sincere heart is a step forward for the army of heaven, bringing rescue, healing, and light into places long cloaked in darkness. My child, do not fear. I did not place you in this battle to see you fall. I did not send you to the front lines to watch you flail under invisible fire. I am the one who brought you into the fight, but I am also the one standing right beside you, the one who won the war before it even began. The enemy may roar, but it is only wind if you stand in my name. You do not need to bow your head in fear before the storm. You only need to open your mouth and declare, my word. For where my word is, there is life, there is power, and there is the breaking of every chain. Proclaim my promises with boldness over your health, even if your body bears illness. My life in you is abundant life. Declare restoration even while you are still in pain. Speak healing not because your emotions agree, but because I have spoken and my word never returns void. Declare peace over your future. Even when the outside looks uncertain, my plan for you is peace, not disaster, a future filled with hope. And pray over your life not with fear but with the trust that I am leading you on a firm path even when twists and turns remain unseen for now. Your prayers are not invisible to me. They rise like fragrant incense in heaven and fall like holy fire on the battlefield. Not one is forgotten. Not one falls into the void. They are remembered, echoed, and answered in perfect time, not early, not late, but in the moment heaven has ordained. Do not think that only loud cries or long hours make prayer effective. What gives prayer power is not its length, but its depth. A single Father whispered from a breaking heart, if offered in faith, can shake the very prison doors of the souls in bondage. My beloved child, this is a pivotal moment. This is the season of transition. And you are being called not to retreat, but to advance, not to remain silent, but to raise your voice, not to tremble in the shadows, but to stand firmly upon my word and proclaim life, healing, freedom, and victory, not only for yourself, but for the souls around you who are in desperate need of light. You shall be a voice in the wilderness. You shall be a lamp upon the fortress. You shall be a warrior, silent, yet mighty, not because you are strong, but because you dare to believe, to stand, and to pray without ceasing. Therefore, my child, lift your hands in faith, open your mouth in courage, and pray as though heaven is listening, because heaven truly is. Do not hesitate to declare life over what seems dead. Do not shy away from proclaiming freedom in places long imprisoned. And never forget, when you pray, you are not speaking alone. You are partnering with the greatest power in the universe. You are collaborating with your Father. You are unlocking the doors for heaven to move on earth. And through you I will do wonders, not because you have everything, but because you have surrendered everything into my hands through prayer. Rise, fight, and believe, for the power of your Father is greater than anything you face. And victory belongs to those who do not stop praying. My beloved child, let your heart be still for a moment so I can speak this into you, a truth you may have heard before, perhaps even known, but today I desire to carve it deeply into the innermost places of your soul. I am with you, not just in joy or ease or when all seems well, but in every weary step, every torn moment, every place where your heart feels wounded or disappointed. I am there. My presence does not depend on your feelings, but rests on my eternal and unchanging promise. I am not a spectator watching you struggle alone. I am the one who walks with you through every valley and stands firm beside you on every mountaintop. You may have heard the enemy's whispers, words that plant doubt in your mind, telling you that you've gone the wrong way, that you're not enough, that what is happening is proof I've forgotten you. But my precious one, know this: no attack of darkness can match the power I have placed within you. The enemy may try to discourage you, but he cannot steal your identity as my child so long as you hold fast to the truth. And that truth is this: you are loved, you are kept, and you are equipped. No weapon formed against you shall prosper as long as you walk in the shadow of your Father's wings. Your strength is not proven by a life without hardship, but by knowing who walks with you through the hardship. So now, my child, it is time for you to walk forward with confidence, not in your own ability, but in my faithfulness. It is time to lift your head, not because you understand all things, but because you trust the one who authored your journey. It is time to stop looking at what was lost and begin embracing what I am placing before you. Your life is not a string of random events. It is a story written by my love and designed with purpose. And you, my child, were created to fulfill a calling that no one else can take your place in. Be courageous in accepting the calling I have placed in you, even if it requires stepping out of comfort, even if it means leaving behind the familiar. Do not wait to feel ready by the world's standard, for sometimes simple obedience is the first step into a new season. The enemy will do all he can to make you doubt your worth, to delay you with fear, to keep you locked in a cage of the past or comparison. But I say, go, rise, live as one who has been chosen, because that is who you are. You have been called out of darkness into my marvelous light. You were not made to hide, you were made to shine. You are not meant to merely survive each day, but to live with purpose, with influence, and with divine significance. Your destiny does not lie in some distant tomorrow. It begins with the small choices you make each day. Every step you take in faith brings you closer to the great plan I have prepared. Do not fear what you cannot yet see. A child does not need to understand everything to trust their father. They only need to know their father never leads them astray. You will never be left behind, never be forgotten, and never be loved less because of your stumbles. I see your potential not through the lens of your flaws, but through the gaze of grace and hope. Step into the future I have prepared for you with courage. Do not let the voice of the past silence the promise of the present. Do not let delays distort your understanding of divine preparation. Do not let old wounds make you fear new doors. I have gone before you, clearing the path and opening the way. And all you need to do is step one step, then another, and you will witness my hand move in ways that far surpass your understanding. My beloved, you are not just walking, you are being led. You do not walk to earn love, but because you are already loved. You do not walk to prove your worth, but because your worth has already been sealed by me. Let your heart hold tightly to that truth, and you will see that every step, whether confident or trembling, carries great power. The power of a God who never abandons his child and never fails in his promises. So rise in faith, walk in grace, and move forward with steadfastness. For you are not merely stepping into the future, you are stepping into the good plan I wrote for you before you were formed in your mother's womb. And that future, I promise, will be filled with hope, not because it is easy, but because I will be there waiting for you, ready to continue writing our glorious story together. My precious child, pause for a moment in the noise of life. Quiet your soul and listen more deeply to the voice of your Father speaking gently to you. This is not a distant echo nor a vague whisper from the ends of the earth. This is the living and active word proceeding from the very heart of the one who made you, the one who lives, who loves, and who watches over every step you take. I want to remind you of what you may have forgotten amid the demands of life, that you are covered, preserved, and protected by a love that never shifts, by a power that cannot be shaken, the everlasting shelter of my presence over you. In this uncertain world, where danger may arise from the most unexpected places, where the enemy lurks in cunning forms, and where spiritual fatigue can unsettle the soul, I know that you have often felt like a leaf adrift in the roaring currents of life. But my child, I have not left you to drift aimlessly. I have not handed your soul over to fate. Even when you are unaware, I am preserving you. I am the one who shelters you beneath the power of my wings. Whoever takes refuge in me shall never be shaken, never be abandoned, for I am your refuge, your fortress, the one in whom you can place your trust. Do not let the voices of fear make you forget that my shadow is a place of rest for trembling hearts. When the world trembles from disease, disaster, and uncertainty, I remain the one who never changes. When the storm strikes others, I am the wall of windbreak for you. When darkness clouds your thoughts and makes you doubt yourself, I am the steadfast light that never goes out. Under the shadow of my wings, there is not only safety but comfort, not only protection but a tender love that heals even the oldest hidden wounds in your heart. Remember this, my beloved. I never promised you would not walk through trouble, but I did promise you would never walk through it alone. When you pass through the waters, I will keep you from being overwhelmed. When you walk through the fire, I will protect you from being burned. My faithfulness is not a vague idea. It is a living reality, a strong shield, a mighty defense against every hidden arrow. The enemy may set traps, but I am the one who sees every scheme in the dark, and I will pull you out before fear can imprison you. You do not have to protect yourself in every situation. You are not required to carry every burden or keep everything in peace by your own strength. Let me do that. Let me be your shelter, the place where your head finds rest, the refuge where you are safe even at your weakest. In the secret place of my presence where no one else can reach, you will find a peace the world cannot give and cannot steal, and it is in that spiritual rest that you will be restored. You will regain your strength, your vision, and your shaken trust that has been battered by the trials of life. Do not only seek me in danger, choose to live daily under my covering. Let my word be the lamp to your feet, the unshakable truth. When you rise in the morning, remember that you do not face the day alone, for I have gone before you. When you end a long day, let your soul rest in gratitude that I have kept you through all things. And even when you feel unworthy, when you question, my love, return to the shadow of my wings. For my love does not depend on your performance, but rests on my unwavering promise to those who belong to me. My beloved, live as one who is protected. Do not fear as if you were orphaned in this world. Do not hang your head as though no one defends you. You have a place of refuge, not a room, not a person, but me. I am the one who shaped your forehead, who knows every day you will live. I am the one who sees what you do not yet see, and has already made a way to keep you from the hunter's trap. Do not worry about what you cannot control. Just stay near to your Father, for there you will never lack my covering. And then in this unstable world you will be a living witness to others that there is still a safe place, still a keeper, still a love that never fails. When others fear, you will bring peace. When others worry, you will walk steady. And when others despair, you, my child who lives beneath the shadow of the Almighty, will be the quiet hope I use to remind them that I am still here. I am still the fortress. I am still the refuge. And I still love each soul with an unshakable love, just as I have loved and always will love you forever. My beloved child, let your heart be fully opened in this very moment, that every word I speak may soak deep into your soul like gentle rain upon dry ground. For today I speak not only to comfort, but to confirm, that you may know, that you may believe, that you may walk through these turbulent days without fear, for I have established my divine protection around you. On every path you take, whether smooth or rugged, familiar or unknown, I have commanded my angels to guard and preserve each of your steps. You are not alone. You do not walk without guardians. What the human eye cannot see are the very spiritual barriers that encircle you every hour, every minute, in every circumstance, because that is the relentless love I, your Father, have for you. When you feel weary, when you believe you are facing everything alone, remember that invisible hands are upholding you, hands stronger than all human strength, yet gentler than the morning breeze. It is my angel who shall guard you, that your foot may not stumble upon a stone, that your heart may not break under pressure, and that your faith may not shatter under the attack of the enemy. You will not collapse in the midst of battle, for you do not fight alone. You have the host of heaven on your side, not because you are without fear, but because you have chosen to love me and trust in my name. You will walk as one under divine authority, not with power that comes from status or human might, but with the sacred power that comes from my presence dwelling within you. You will tread upon lions and cobras, the very image of challenges once thought insurmountable, of fears that once imprisoned your soul, of the enemy's hidden schemes meant to make you falter. You will trample underfoot all that once terrified you, not because of stubborn will, but because I have placed you on high ground, where no hand can reach, where you are covered by my power and my name. Because you have loved me, because you have kept your heart for me, amidst countless other calls, I promise you this: I will deliver you. Not only in the literal sense, but I will rescue your soul from numbness, from confusion, from prolonged weariness. I will lift you from the dry wasteland and set you on high ground, where you can breathe again, live again, and see the greater picture I am painting over your life. And because you know my name, you will never be forsaken. My name is not just a title, but a strong tower, a safe refuge, a promise that never returns void. When you call, I will answer, not because you pray much, but because you are my child. Your cry is the sound I listen for each day. You may think your petitions are too small for heaven's attention, but, O child, every whisper of yours resounds loudly in my courts, and each prayer, whether shed through tears or spoken with trembling lips, touches my heart. I will not only hear, but I will act. I will be present in the midst of trouble, not as a distant observer, but as the one who fights beside you, for you, and through you. I do not promise you will never face hardship, but I do promise I will be with you in the midst of it. And when I am present, even affliction becomes the place where your soul is refined, where your faith is strengthened, where you learn that true peace does not come from favorable circumstances, but from nearness to me. And after you have endured, I will not only deliver you, but I will honor you, not with worldly glory, but with the radiance within, with maturity, with new life, that only those who have walked through sorrow can carry with depth and fullness. I will satisfy you with long life, not merely in years, but in the quality of your days, peace, joy, health, and a heart fulfilled in my leading. I will reveal my salvation to you not just once in your lifetime, but daily, moment by moment, like a breath that warms your soul, like a light that leads you through darkness, like a promise that stands firm through all the shifting of men. Therefore, my beloved child, walk with steadfast faith. Live as one covered by heaven. Pray as one who knows your words are heard. Move forward as one who is never left behind. And rest as one who knows you are being held, even when you're unaware. I am your Father, and I will never change. You are my child, and that is eternal. The words I have spoken today are not mere promises. They are living words, divine guarantees, and the unshakable foundation upon which you can live, walk, and overcome. My beloved, in a world filled with chaos where hearts are easily swayed and darkness rapidly spreads, I want you to know one thing, a truth that cannot be moved by history, cannot be distorted by circumstance, and cannot be revoked by any force. You belong to me, and because you have chosen me as your refuge, you shall be perfectly kept. You will not tremble before the night, not because you are braver than others, but because you know you are shielded by the hand of the Almighty. Though darkness falls, though the night grows long, your heart shall remain at peace, for my light never fades. Terror may strike many, but it has no power to dwell in the soul of the one who places their trust in me. You shall not be dismayed by the invisible arrows, words of slander, criticisms, and malicious schemes that fly unseen. These arrows may come in broad daylight, but your heart will not be shaken, for I am the shield that covers all which seems impossible to avoid. When the world is overtaken by anxiety, by rumors, by nameless fears, you will stand firm, not because you know everything, but because you know me. You do not need to understand all things to have peace. You only need to know that the one you hide in is the fortress that can never be shaken. And yes, there will be times when plagues arise not only in the body, but in the mind and soul. They creep in the shadows, sowing confusion, unsettling hearts, making love grow cold. But I say to you, do not fear. Do not let your heart weaken before these lurking things. Even if destruction rages at noon when it seems that light reigns, I will still be your shade in the scorching heat. I am the protection that is never obscured by time, the covering not limited by space. No plague shall pass through the barrier I have erected around those who choose me as their dwelling. And you, my child, you have chosen that you have chosen me. Look around you, you may see thousands fall to your left, 10,000 to your right. These things are real. The pain, the loss, the collapse, they are real. But that does not mean you must be part of it. For when the world shakes, I will keep you steady. When others fall into panic, I will hold your heart in peace. Not because you are greater than anyone, but because you have chosen me, and those who put their trust in me will never be put to shame. You will not only be preserved, but you will also be a witness to divine justice. You will see with your own eyes, not in vengeful wrath, but in the righteous judgment I have promised since the beginning. The wicked shall not reign forever, deception shall not forever be hidden, and darkness shall not steal the light from those who love the truth. My beloved, there may be times when you feel small in this hurried world, like a single drop in the vast ocean. But I see you as a precious gem among ashes, a green shoot in the desert, one preserved amidst the storm of the age. Not because you evaded disaster, but because disaster cannot touch you when you are hidden in me. I do not promise you will never stumble, but I do promise that all things will work for your good when you remain deeply connected to me. True safety does not lie in where you dwell, but in whom you dwell with. And if you are in me, no force can make your soul fall. Remember, the protection I give you is not a fragile shell, but a mighty fortress built with eternal love and unchanging promises. Live as one who knows you are protected. Do not live as one who fears every day, head bowed in dread, but lift your head high as one shielded by the greatest power in the universe. Do not be shaken by the wind, the gray clouds, the invisible threats. Cling to my word as the anchor of your soul. Recall the promises I have engraved upon your heart. Live as one who truly believes that you are held in the hand of the Almighty and nothing can snatch you away. So, my beloved, keep walking not in recklessness but in unwavering faith. Keep loving even when the world freezes in indifference. Keep praying even when all you can muster is a sigh. Keep hoping even when others give up. For you were not destined to fall, you were destined to overcome. Not alone, but with me. And when you walk with me, you will see that no darkness is too deep, no arrow too swift, no plague too strong. and no fear too great to separate you from my eternal keeping. I am your refuge now, forever and unchanging. Amen. As a child of God, He is always beside you in every moment, gently reminding you to live in faith and in His love. Follow and turn on notifications so you'll never miss a word I speak from heaven. Amen.